Hey, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to be talking about the book that I have read recently, and the book is The Strange Case of Dear Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Book is a novel written by Scottish author Robert Louis Stevenson, first published in 1886. Whoa, a long time ago. It is a classic work of Gothic literature and it's often considered one of the most famous works in the genre. The novel explores the theme of duality, morality, and the nature of humanity. The story is set in London and revolves around the character of dear Henry Jekyll, a respected and mild-mannered scientist and physician. Dear Jekyll becomes obsessed with the idea of separating the good and evil side of human nature, believing that within each person there are two distinct personalities, one virtuous and one malevolent. Either way, so just to summarize, there's the way how book is structured and the way how book is written is very interesting piece of work and art, I believe, and that personality idea of how you yourself you should consider making any decisions and overall decision making. Some of the perspective I can give from my own point of view. It's interesting work where not necessarily most of the books that I would be listening or reading to there would be very linear and plot would be a very storytelling, I guess, or it would jump from one point to another. Where in this particular instance, it would go to different personalities and different points of view. To explore this idea, he created potion that transforms him into completely different person, Mr. Edward Hyde, who embodies all of Jekyll's dark and moral impulses. uh, which is very interesting plot overall, and book have received a lot of good reviews and overall attention. So I thought it's worth reading as well as that's one of the reasons why I would like to recommend this book. It took me some time before coming around and start recommending this kind of books. Depending on the people out there, more of the people, especially in the business setting, they might look at more of the perhaps physics, math, STEAM subjects as well as perhaps history. Something that I'm looking to do later, and so some of the books that I'll be reading going forward. But it's might worth mentioning in some of those decisions and taking a look at duality, morality, and some of the human nature when it comes to business setting as well. As Mr. Hyde, Jekyll engages in increasingly reprehensible and violent behavior, leading to concerns from his friends and associates. The novel is presented as a series of letters, witness accounts, and Jekyll's own confession, which is discovered after his mysterious disappearance. Throughout these documents, readers learn about the transformation of dear Jekyll into Mr. Hyde and the destructive consequences of his experiments. It's kind of overall myself sometimes doing this kind of videos, interviews every day. I'm getting a sense of it can be it's sort of letters back almost 2 years ago, 200 years ago, sort of letters that I'm standing up there in in abyss and looking for a response. So it's kind of, I guess, even to my personal experience on a daily basis, it can look or feel very similar. The story serves as an allegory for dual nature of humanity, highlighting the struggle between good and evil, that exists within each person. It also raises questions about the ethical boundaries of scientific experimentation and the consequences of trying to suppress one's darkening impulses. Okay, but yeah, so overall, that's what would be the book about for those of you who might be interested, taking one step or perhaps away from day to day or what you might be reading or what you might be focusing on, and overall, based on the reviews and overall history, this particular book have received very good and a lot of reviews. So not necessarily this information is coming just from myself, but if you do some homework and understand some of the concepts of what is being shared within this book, as well as I cover some of these concepts within the book that I have written myself, which I personally believe there's always someone out there coining these terms and duality and how to approach that. The Strange Case of Dear Jekyll and Mr. Hyde has been adapted into numerous films, plays, and other works of literature, and it continues to be a significant influence on popular culture. It remains a classic exploration of the human psyche and consequences of tampering with the fundamental aspects of one's own nature. For those of you who would like to learn more, I would highly recommend to purchase this book. In the book, I'm sharing a lot of information with regards to fitness and your own body and how to understand your body and how to learn more about fitness as well as rest and food that you should be eating. I have my personal background. I spent a lot of time working as a personal trainer as well as working on my own body and focusing on that. But there's one of the things that I always believed or been interested in accomplished, published my own book on this subject before progressing into different fields and perhaps more stressful fields, starting my own business and operating perhaps number of companies or some of the progressions that I'm there to take. For those of you who like to learn more, I have shared the link in the description as well as Top Retailers has this book. Okay, let's take a slightly different angle and let's approach this as if I was to sell this book to you, right? It might be interesting perhaps for those of you up there who might be looking to think more about the sales and overall process of selling, right? Exploration nature of humans. This book delves into complex and eternal struggle between good and evil within human soul. It prompts readers to reflect on their own inner demons and choices that they need to make every day. So you can take a look at different people's example and perhaps find some ways how they're dealing with their own inner demons and perhaps to learn from some other people's mistakes, I guess, or experiences. Gothic atmosphere. Robert Louis Stevenson, masterful creator of dark and eerie atmosphere in the foggy streets of Victorian London, making the story a perfect reader for those who enjoy a gothic genre. Myself, I'm not that interested, but I guess it's something more interested for the people out there who are looking for adventures. I guess myself, I'm not that interested in that particular genre. Psychological depth. It offers thought-provoking exploration of psychology of its characters, especially their Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. The transformation of their Jekyll into Mr. Hyde and the consequences of his actions provide rich material for psychological analysis. It's kind of interesting, but to some extent, it might be perhaps that you would find in the I don't know in drama movies. I don't know if you wanna pursue those characters. For I need to sell it, right? I need to sell it, so it might be interesting read overall. Moral dilemma. The novel raises important ethical questions about the limits of scientific explorations and the consequences of suppressing one's darker impulses. It challenges readers to ponder the moral choices made by its characters. Perhaps myself, some of the movies or TV series that I will be watching, I can't do that much these days. But some of the TV series that I used to watch, I always do this is as like exercise, I guess, for my own how I would behave in that particular situation and what would be outcome of some of my actions and what would be the best choice within a particular situation. It's just something that I myself I would be most interested in doing. Suspense and mystery. In this book, where characters fall into duality. It's a relatively short novel, but it's packed with suspense and mystery. As you read, you will find yourself eagerly turning the page to uncover the secrets hidden within pages. Suspense is something that I personally enjoy, especially in my favorite movie directors and the way how they produce movies. But one of the best things to look forward to, right? Cultural impact. The story has left an incredible mark on literature and popular culture within countless adaptations and references in various forms of media. Quick read. If you are looking for a classical novel that won't require significant time commitment, this novel is excellent choice. And overall, I would highly recommend for those of you who are looking for next read to consider this particular book. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.